As part of this session, we will focus on importing the .tf files by using the import commands that we have generated from the data lakehouse.io Terraform feature. So in the last video, we basically saw that how we could generate files in this format where you would basically see your database or your object.tf file and their corresponding database import commands.txt. Now a breakdown of what it is and how it works basically. So if you look at the databases.tf, for example, you would see that it has a corresponding entry for each of your database objects. So you have something called as Ankit Sandbox as a database in our Snowflake instance. And then if you look at the database's import commands, there is a corresponding line which says that you need to import this particular database resource object from the databases.tf file. So it's important that you make sure that you keep this consistent format, because this indicates the name of the resource from here that needs to be imported. And if you want more details on the formatting, you can refer the Snowflake Labs documentation link that we've given as part of the documentation to understand if you have any questions around the import commands and so on. So once we have that, so again, in your command line, our next step is to make sure that we import that as part of our Terraform. So what that basically means is that we would run these import commands, and as soon as we run that, it will generate a tf.state file. Okay, so now I have gone to my Snowflake source test, which has my Snowflake set up with the main.tf file, and I've moved all those files into this directory here. So if I just list it, you can see that all those files that we create from data lakehouse.io have been moved here. Now, for example, if I want to go ahead and if I want to basically import my databases, so I can say, so I'm trying to execute my databases import file. So I can say databases import commands .txt, and as you see, it has gone ahead and it has imported all your database, and it has imported all your, so it picks up the ID number, it picks up your Snowflake, your second ID for database, and the third for Terraform test db1. And now if you go a list, you would see that there is a file which is called as your state file. Yeah, and as you can see that it has created your state file to basically keep a track, which is a terraform.ts state and terraform.ts state.backup, to keep a track of what has been imported as part of your state file. So once you've imported all of these resources into your object, you would basically do a Terraform plan, because a Terraform plan would basically indicate that your configuration is matching, that is your TF state configuration is matching with your Snowflake configuration. If not, it will indicate that what is present in your configuration file, but what is missing in your TF state file. So for example, right now I have only imported databases.tf into my TF state file. I have not imported any of the other objects. So in my folder, Terraform sees that there are lists of resources which are existing in my configuration file but are not existing in my tf.state file. So if I do a Terraform plan, it will assume that these are not existing in your Snowflake instance and would ask you to go and create it. So if I do a Terraform plan, it will give you a list of all the resources. Sorry, that's Terraform. So it's giving you a list of all the resources that are basically missing. And if it has any error that in your warehouse, for example, it's noticed that that warehouse size is currently not matching. So it's asked you to kind of do any form of corrections and so on. So in this case, if you have any correction, you can just go open that particular file, just make a correction, and then you should be able to go back and then do a Terraform plan. And if you're okay with the plan, you can just go ahead and then do a Terraform apply. That will actually go and create the resource in your Terraform state file. So this particular topic of actually creating resources in Snowflake from Terraform is something that I will cover as part of the next video. Thank you.